Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's edition of Beyond the Ordinary Show. Today we are on, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. We're on with Phyllis Douglass talking about reclaiming the throne within, but we're not just talking about it. We're going to be activating it. We're going to be expanding it. We're going to be owning it. We're going to be embodying it. We're going to be experiencing it. We're going to be expressing it and guiding each other to an elevated place where it is crystal clear that that place within you is undeniable. And Phyllis, man, y'all are in for a treat. A lot of y'all already know her. If you don't know her, she embodies the seraphic presence as a radiant emanation of the eternal omnipresence, the divine source. She is an architect of living light, and we as one, and a collective force. Y'all get ready for an amazing call. Phyllis is going to share what I'll describe to you as an operatic transmission, angelically guided. It's the words don't give it the justice, but I invite you, and we'll get into that a little bit later on the call, but I invite you to open to receive, to prepare on the call, to be in a place where you can sit and receive the transmission of that particular guided journey that will go along. But this whole call is going to be that and so much more. So it's with that I welcome all of y'all to today's call and that I'm so grateful to have you on today, Phyllis. Thank you for being here.
You. I've had this rising of excitement today.
It's there is something rising in excitement in the collective field as well. What is happening? What are you noticing?
Well, we're talking a little bit about it. There is a lot of energy coming in, and that's actually going to pick up beginning with the 1111 portal, which is
Mm,
coming up. So there is going to be a grand, massive influx of energies, which is really guided towards recalibrating humanities. From my perspective, the
mm,
architecture, the spiritual architecture, and the energetic architecture. And so I've noted already, even with the last several months this past year, there's an expediency that people are kind of coming into being or shifting gears from jobs that they're in. They're shifting into something else. They're becoming totally dissatisfied with something, like, why am I even here? And so,
mm,
they're receiving like a call, and they're being guided to do these things they've never thought about doing before. And they're kind of like, really? Okay. But I'm finding that people aren't objecting either. There's a sense within them that's like, if I'm receiving this call, I know there's something more. They're feeling like there's something more to this
mm,
life, to my being here. That people are just kind of going off on these journeys without really knowing anything about it, just thinking I'm being called. There's something to it. And so I'm seeing a lot of people do that, but it's happening faster. Time is at the time is shifting and moving faster,
mm,
but our opening, people are opening, and so there's become this division between people that have this opening, this willingness to like open, and they're surrendering to it somewhat, right? And then there's people that, like, I don't have any intention whatsoever to do that.
mm.
Right. And so
But, yeah.
there's like a division that's happening, and it's
Mm,
really interesting to see that. And I mean, you can see it when you're looking out at what's happening in the world, and so forth. You can begin to see a division that's
mm.
occurring.
I
So
I'd love for you to share how this embodiment of the seraphic presence, if you describe that and how that it helps you illuminate on light on these places that were once not as accessible, but now you have a capacity to translate what's being seen so I can elevate the possibilities of what we're stepping into in that really in that aspect of reclaiming that throne within ourselves.
it is really about becoming what you really know that you are. Right?
Mm,
You get all of these little tidbits and niggling thoughts and all of this stuff, and you're kind of like, part of you is, Okay, I'm not necessarily going to accept that you're telling me I'm a seraphim angel. Sounds cool, but I don't even know what the heck that is. And it's kind of against everything that I know to this point. So I've been told that since I was a little girl. You're seraphim. You're an
Mm,
angel in physical form. And I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. It was, how long have I been doing this type of work? A very long time in some form. Right? And so it was really within the last couple years, and I think I've said this before, but Archangel Michael came in and said, if you're not going to accept that your seraphic nature, then you are not going to be able to accomplish your mission because
mm,
you're not connected. You don't have that connection fully and completely that you need so that realization comes in. But your gifts, your power, you need to stand in that truth with both feet. You can't just be sticking your big toe in and going, oh, cool. Right.
mm,
So it's just like, not, it hasn't been that long ago that I said, okay, I surrender. All right, I surrender because I know what you're telling me is true. But there has been a part, not now, but there had been a part of myself that I was kind of like, I don't want to be accepting of that because for me,
mm.
I don't know what people are going to think. And I don't want to be like one of those people that goes, she's nuts. I'm not going to listen to her anymore. No. But it's just kind of like, but that didn't happen actually. Uh, but there was still a part of me that was kind of like, there's a responsibility that comes with acceptance and surrender to
Mm,
something, doesn't matter whatever it is, but there's a responsibility that comes to play for you to be that, whatever it is,
mhm,
110% of the time. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. When you step into that level of beingness and acceptance, you have to be willing to be that. You can't just keep opening the door, stepping through and stepping back in and locking it. It's open. That's
mhm,
who you are. So what are you going to do with that now, right? And when you accept that, then your frequency, your vibrational frequency comes into alignment with that. And so when you
mhm,
come magnetized and in alignment with the truth of who you are, then everything that is not in alignment with that truth starts exiting your
mhm,
life. Sometimes forcefully, sometimes gradually, sometimes painfully, right? Because a lot of those things we want to, you're really like, wait. I like that, or whatever. But it's kind of like, sometimes it just feels like it's just being ripped away forcefully because you can't be who it is you truly are if you're still holding on
mm,
to the past and those old patterns and those old beliefs and the people that you have had in your life, maybe for me it's like 60 odd years, whatever, if it's from childhood. So it's kind of like it's a reawakening, but it is really like a rebirthing into an entirely new way of being, an entirely new place. It feels
mm.
like a different and new world that I've stepped into. So yeah, that's about it.
That's about it. Well, and I really appreciate that you bring in the aspect of self-responsibility, which to me, part of that alchemy also brings in integrity simultaneously. Because once you're on that path, there's an integrity. When you step off of it, you feel when you're off that barometer of it's self-integrity. It's really alignment with the truth of the light that you are and what you're accessing. Once you've chosen to have relationship with that and it almost seems like there's an aspect of devoting to that truth rather than sticking our heads in the sand. Like
Hmm.
perhaps we was easier at a certain point, which I don't believe that that is easy anymore, by the way.
No, and I've come to the understanding because I sit back and I witness people, students,
Hmm.
clients, and so forth. There's two different things. There needs to be to really to really step into your own kind of inner authority, you have to realize it's not an immediate thing.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing a lot of people wanting to go, it's like when you look back at the old mystery schools, it wasn't like, "Ploop, there you in." It's not like there's a fairy godmother that taps you on the top of your head and all of a sudden you are something, right? There's a process. Now, it moves faster than the old mystery school kind of analogy, but you can't go from A to Z overnight or in an
Mhm.
hour or a few minutes. It just doesn't exist. Because with everything, you always see the unfolding as like a journey. There is a process to everything, and we can't have everything hit us in right away. But I notice there's a lot of people that don't want to undergo a process, and that really aligns with the mentality and a large part of our society. That
Mhm.
instant gratification, right?
Yeah.
I want to be there now. I want this now. I want the money now. And you don't even have an infrastructure. But when you're talking about the spiritual, energetic aspect of self, you have to have the proper infrastructure, the stabilization, that infrastructure that is in place. Because it's like it's otherwise, it's like building, a multi level building without a foundation.
Mhm.
And it's really important to have that foundation and to build up one floor upon the other. You
Right.
can't put the 21st floor on the first floor.
Well, what also comes along with this, and it's part of what you said you were going to speak about, but it's so important because during that acclimation, the embodiment, the intelligence building within us, and being able to hold that field, whatever we're transitioning through, we come to a deeper understanding, and there's this lightning rod that starts to awaken that's called compassion. And as we can start recognizing that compassion within us because we understand the journey in a way that perhaps we didn't have reference for before, we embody that compassion, and then our capacity to hold compassion for others and for the collective becomes that much stronger. It's not just a solo journey. We're really entwined in this together in unity consciousness.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Hmm. So you speak of grounded spirituality. Talk to us more about that, and how are you experiencing that? And how are the people that you're guiding, having sessions with, taking them into these transmissions, able to bridge this in a more empowered way? Again, taking their seat on the throne, if you will, right?
When you my little fuzzy throne. So so when when we look back into the past, when people spoke of enlightenment or ascension, they were always referring to this elevation out of physical form. It was like,
Mhm.
you know, ridding oneself of the ego, ridding oneself of the external mundane world, and then rising up. And that's not true anymore. We are Our destiny at present time is to ascend within physical form. And I was laughing with Archangel Michael the other day because I think he's always saying that. And, I was teaching somewhere, I can't remember. But I was like, isn't that like descension? And I laugh, haha. But I always talk about enlightenment, I enlightenment, bringing in more and more light. We are becoming light, but we are not
Mm,
elevating up out of the physical form. We have to actually come. Everything that we are is coming down into physical form and expressing energetically outwards. But we have to be grounded, right?
mhm,
Because when you're talking about bringing heaven to earth, we can't be up there. We are down here bringing heaven to earth. So we
mhm,
have to be grounded in our fully embodied state. We can't be airy fairy and up there somewhere. But it's also considering the fact that our true spiritual nature is our true nature of being. It's nothing magnificent. It's nothing good, bad, or ugly, or whatever. It is who we truly are. So when we are coming into an embodied state and we are embodying our I am presence, that soul aspect, within this physical form, we are grounded and we have become, and that is who we are within physical form. And
Mm,
then our highest aspect, that I am present, which resides closest to the eternal omnipresent God, is connected within this physical form and expressing itself outwards.
mm.
So that's really you have to be grounded, and because you can get lost in the awe and wonder of spirituality, right? But
Yeah.
that's not what we're here to do. We're here to ground our true nature and really bring it down to earth.
Hmm.
And that's really what I mean by being grounded. But there's also when we are ungrounded, it's very difficult to be our true and authentic self, to really allow that aspect of us that is human to
Mm,
merge with that aspect of ourselves that is spiritual, because there is a merging of that. It's a merging of our spiritual selves within this physical form.
mm,
It's not like we're leaving anything behind, we're gaining our truth, our true way of being.
mm. And we're tuning to that. And what I'm finding also, Phyllis, in my experience is that the grounding heaven to earth, it's really, I'd say for everybody in this collective experience, we somehow have agreed to come in to play a role for that, for this generation and for the future generations, for an evolution that is without question happening right now, without question. And there's reflections of a lot that is advancing in technology, but also advancing in how structures are being had different relationship with as we accelerate into new understanding. Our societal changes, ecological changes, again, technological changes, everything is accelerating for a particular purpose. It's
You,
not random.
one of the other things that popped into my head, to your answer to your question, is people have to realize there's a difference between ascension as escape and ascension as integration.
Hmm.
We are referring to ascension as integration, but there's many people that they use ascension as a catalyst for escape from life, from what's going on around them, from not wanting to entertain engage in what is happening in this world. But if we're not engaged in some way, shape, or form with what's happening in this world, how can we then circumvent that? How can we create change? How can we create the new earth if we're totally unwilling to engage with the things that are happening? And I used to be one of at one point in my life, I was like, oh, I don't want to watch the news. It just makes me feel so bad and so forth. But when you're looking at it from a higher perspective, it is nothing other than information.
Right.
And you're integrating that, and you have that knowledge of like, can I serve in my way, in a beneficial way? Maybe not maybe not, because when we're talking about what's happening in the world, it there's obviously a pattern that is happening,
Hmm.
but often things will not get better until it actually gets worse and very apparent of what's occurring and what's happening. And that's what's happening now. But we don't have to dive in with both feet, but we just kind of have to keep an awareness of what is occurring
Hmm.
outside, externally.
Yeah. I see it as a reconciliation. What has to be created has to be uncreated. It
Mm-hmm.
was made into form and we're changing the form of it. And so we're going through a reverse form of creation in it to bring it all into a new consciousness.
Yeah.
What's wonderful about this and that I see is that, again, as we bring it in, we're bringing it into us. We're no longer ascending as an aspect of trying to get something outside of ourselves to save us, but we're recognizing as we're grounding in that it's all inside of us, that everything that we are experiencing is all inside here. And so to integrate that connection to spirit, to the divine, to the angelic, to that higher consciousness, and bring it in and then be a walk-in emanation of that realization of truth. Because I believe that that is also a significant aspect of reclaiming the throne.
Well, so for so long, especially through religion and so forth, humanity has actually been conditioned that to seek divinity outside of themselves, right?
Mhm.
When actually it's a part of you, it is you, it's never been lost, we've never been separate from it, it resides
Yeah.
within. But it's about revealing that from within ourselves. And so, it's that understanding that all that you are desiring is not external. Sorry, I can't seem to speak all of a sudden. I want to speak like language. Bleh. I want to speak light language is coming
I've
through,
been
but I'm
feeling
trying to
that for a while.
speak
I think we should start getting into some
English.
light
Yeah.
language soon. Yes.
but but we have to like realize that we need to bring it. It's about, I think my title was something about outsourcing, because we tend to see, I can't speak, outsource ourselves to please other people and to gain acceptance, right? And we need to be insourcing all that we are to put all of that fuel into actually becoming who it is that we are, and to be able to follow the path that we
Mhm.
are here to follow and to become who it is we are here to become.
Most definitely. I am feeling strongly that we should get into some light language. I'm feel it's like it wants to like break out of the container. It's what it feels like right
Yeah,
now.
and my tongue is
Uh,
like vibrating.
yeah, but
My body is.
before we go there, y'all, and maybe we can go ahead and get into the light language transmission as well. We'll open up to Q&A. We'll go through the special offer, which the Songs of Living Light series is part of the offer, and there's also an opportunity to work one-on-one with Phyllis. And oh my God, I'm signing up because I'm ready for my next one. It'll be my third one. It's just like it's it's spectacular, but we'll go into it in a little bit. I'm explaining a little bit of it now because if you get so high from the sonic transmission that's coming through, it'll just help to ground you into us becoming a little more linear in the special offer so that you can take the work even further with Phyllis. So that's my intention in that. So we'll open up to Q&A. Special offers coming up. The link for the special offers in the chat box or underneath the video where you're watching the call from. If you know you want a session, if you know that you want to get into the sonic transmissions, the Song of Light transmissions, click on the link now and create more space afterwards. So, um, with that, Phyllis, where do you want to take this with the light language, or do we want to go into the transmission? Or
Do you want to do the transmission now? Are you feeling that?
yeah,
Or do you want
I
to
think
answer some questions now? Or do you want to do that afterwards?
let's do the transmission now. That's coming
Okay,
up strongly.
good. All right. I want to explode.
Hmm.
All right. Let me.
Y'all, as we get into the transmission, like I hope that you find the time, just take a deep breath and relax your body as much as you can and prepare to receive. I'm going to turn off my video and my audio so that Phyllis comes across strong and it's her energy and the seraphims coming through for you. So y'all enjoy this journey and I will be back with you soon.
All right. So what I would ask you to do is to sit back and close your eyes. I'm not exactly sure what they have we have in store for you, but it's already just building. So just close your eyes and be open and willing to just receive with all of your being. songarere coro bo sondre handagare mini tuore kinjere mi songo tundre handare bere kure tundre hannamoro handare kure tinde tuoro handare moro jingre gire noro moro handare kure konde tundran handare kure konde tundran hero Nores pari amare turo Amare andere che si andrò Ore di gore man E sale di gore nor Vero scur Vero batare te condrettur Onda cormere te possun Ore le coro Ale le condro Nura corazore Nura corazore Tuttiro le mandre Anturo Ore Ire manguntu ire siera tam Andare her Andare gore pandre siera Tondre siera andare por Andare condre por Andare condre por Sun Ongongongong pondere siendor Ongongongong pondere pir Hande ture har Handere ture tor Handere ture toro Ishakaira kum Itabura che si chiamura hacha Ikatungura Ari kapaira kusukunya macha ajen Erita Kungoira tachara Ishakura bakama makachi jenda Sikachi gundre Erita Kukunge shukuira tanda Hapaya Dole chire Bandere kiriana bakotundre Annere kamare tundre piram Ongare par Nur kamato Tura Tura Anda Andura, kaka, shakuira. Ikere pesere jana motun, ikare peshokundri spiada chatan. We are complete.
Mm. I'm gonna invite y'all to come back slowly. Don't rush the experience.
Give me time to come back to you. Okay.
Wow, I had my own version of an experience from that, Phyllis. Um, can you translate some of your awareness of what was coming through?
There was a portal of light that was open, and there was like light coming in. Um, and just for everyone present and those who will listen to it, it was just coming through. So whoever's listening will
Mm.
receive that. But it was like packages of information for people to receive that will unfold, over some time. But everybody received like these little packages, and they were just kind of little sparkly like energy. But also there was galactic presence, which is about
Mm.
our the galactic presence that came in, and there was like this stream of light uh, coming down from that, and really about our galactic families and so forth. Yeah, that's about all I know.
That's about all. My experience, I felt like a calling the collective up. It's it was a powerful transmission. Um, in acknowledging that which is already within and to have an awareness of ownership, if you will, or authorship in that. Um, wow, all the comments coming in. Don't know how to express my gratitude, Phyllis. So gorgeous. My palms opened and I felt tingling. Incredibly beautiful and beautiful, incredible. I cried tears of joy. Amazing. Thank you. Untangled, angelic voice. I really felt that throughout my being, from my head to my toes, very strong. Kat, thank you, thank you, thank you. Chills. A transmission vibration frequency beyond thoughts and words. Thank you, dear Phyllis. What do you typically recommend for people after they receive these types of coding from these type of transmissions?
I have been with my transmissions. I open it up so people have the replay, and I say it, listen to it at least three more times,
Hmm.
because we as Elohim, we have basically given that opportunity. You receive everything now, but listening to it three more times is like a period of integration and assimilation so that
Hmm.
you receive more, the opening and so forth. So I would listen to it at least three more times. It doesn't hurt to listen to it more if you want to, but generally it's kind of in alignment with three additional times is that period of integration and assimilation to receive what's there for you.
Why are the angelics and the galactics offering this at this time? Are they preparing us for something, or are they asking us to recognize something that already is? Or both?
Both. Yeah, it's about recognition and remembrance, about opening up, releasing or unveiling those things within you so that you begin to have those remembrances of your own divinity, right? Has nothing to do with religion, doesn't even have anything to do with spirituality in that sense, except you are a spiritual being. But it's kind of that call from within that you need to begin to answer as you begin to decipher what is not in alignment with your life because of what is coming and being unveiled
Mm.
for you. Um, I'm sorry, I was going to say something and it totally went out of my head about that. Oh, okay, thank you. I just got the other half of your question. They just reminded me. Uh, so, yes, something is occurring, but there is the expediency. But beginning with the 1111 portal, and actually that evening I'm going to be doing a special free actually transmission online. Um, with the 1111 portal, that is when the influx of energy is going to become is coming down because there is uh, it's just more, there's an expediency that more people need to rise up, wake up, whatever you want to call it. More people need to discover who they are, the truth of who it is that they are. And it's really hard when people are just buried under old beliefs and patterns and just are have been swept up about what is happening. There's so many people's like, oh my God, look what's happening to the world. We're doomed. Well, no, we're not doomed at
Mm,
all, right? There's always been a faction of light that's been interwoven and just sitting back and waiting for the bottom to hit.
mhm,
And so there is this energy is coming down to really, really, yes, thank you. I understand. Um, to knock people away. It's really about that, something a little more forceful to begin to like not knock people, but to begin to shift energy so that people are like, whoa. So you're going to find yourself on unstable ground,
mhm,
and then you're going to seek stability. And so you're going to wonder, like, which direction do I go to seek stability? But with that revealing of truth and your own divinity and that spiritual energetic aspect, that begins to open up when you become unstable so that you can recognize that kind of weight, the balance that they're showing me, like one of those old fashioned weight thingies. And
mhm,
it's kind of like you'll understand that you were here before, and this is, finding that balance.
mm.
Um, so yeah, that's going to be happening. There's going to be a surge of energy, and that's all both angelic and galactic. There's
That's beautiful.
teamwork that's
It's
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Q&A. I'll get to you in a second, Eileen. I promise. Anybody else wants to raise their hand, I will promote you to panelists. Some great questions coming in the chat. Um, a couple of questions for you. And first, as an illustration, it feels like we're being pushed into the deep end of the pool to just sh to be shown that we're capable
Mhm.
of swimming in the depths
Yeah,
of
that's
what's presenting
exactly it.
itself.
I love that analogy, and that's
And
pretty much it. Yeah.
it's your parent lovingly throwing you in. It's like you've got this. You've got this. Look what else you can
What's that?
experience. But
Love.
something that you mentioned earlier, and the answer may be obvious, and it most likely is, but I think it's worth considering just the opportunity of perspective on it that we need to awaken now. Why do we need to awaken now?
To save humanity,
Hmm. From what?
to save our world, destruction.
If we destroy ourselves, we'll go on to another realm. So,
There's an interesting thing happening, just more symbolically than anything. There were 12 Earths, because just like we have different aspects, the Earth did too. So many of us are, like I was on all 12,
hmm,
and most of those I do recognize. So the 12 Earths, we'll call it, have been uh, merging. And we just had a recent, if anyone here of the, like maybe a couple of weeks ago, you went through like a period of like, oh dear God, what is going on? There was a merging of two Earths, right?
hmm,
Uh, and well, it's actually there were two Earths that merged into two lower Earths. So eventually we merge as one. But what
hmm,
happens when that happens is that's also kind of part of our awakening process, because if you are on one of these planets that merge, you are indeed merging another aspect of yourself into the
hmm.
present. Right? And so
Yeah.
I've had a lot of that going on, and it's really been like I'm sorry, my phone is tinging. It's actually on airplane mode. Uh, there there's been a lot of that, and that's why a lot of people are experiencing what you might call ascension symptoms, or
Hmm,
whatever you call it, because those energies are coming in. Sometimes it's just because you are merging a different aspect of self into this present form.
hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. What I also hear is, as we're having this discussion, is that there's also we're learning about the sacredness and the reverence that's in that light. So as we awaken, it just becomes an alchemical certainty. that we hold that acknowledgement and that intelligence of creation. And of course, we would want to not extinguish it. Of course, we'd want to add and nourish and amplify its light in reverence to which the source that it came from, which, yes, it is divinity, but it's us as well. And our brains can't necessarily compute the profundity of that.
Well, we all came here with a great purpose. Everyone, especially now in this lifetime, that we came knowing what was happening. We came to assist and to guide humanity in whatever way, shape, or form,
Hmm.
whatever our gifts are, and so forth. But Archangel Michael. You just shared all that and you don't know what you said. um, I don't even know how to word this. Okay. So we are, this was kind of like a test. Our planet, uh, was a test. And we came because we're like, okay, we want to fall, right? So that we
Mm.
can find our way back to our true nature. So that, how do we do that? And so it was an interesting process. And of course, we all know a lot of things happen along the way. So here we are. But the thing is, everything is evolving. There's an evolutionary process that's happening. But those who are already awake and those who have already reached that level of ascension, nothing else can rise without us. And so that is the key reason that you have all these galactic angelic presences and stuff. We have a whole manner of beings that are attempting to assist humanity, assist Earth. Or, well, the Earth can do her own thing. She doesn't have a problem with it, but she's trying to take us with her, right? Uh, so they're trying to assist humanity in kind of awakening to that truth and to ascend so that all else can ascend to a higher octave as well. They're calling a higher octave, a higher energetic octave. So it's not really, there's not a form of destruction, but it's a form of separation because there are many people that won't rise up. They choose not to. So that, all dimensions are now. So you can have somebody that chooses not to rise, that is the next dimension over, what have you, but
Mhm.
there is a merging into one beautiful divine space
Yeah.
as well. And so that's really what's happening. So they are trying to get kind of that, I can't remember the number of people. There's that whole expression of 144 million people. There's a certain number of people that when they awaken, there's a tipping point.
Hmm.
And so we're trying to get to that tipping point where once we hit it, it's just like, oh, right, everything opens up. But right now we're close, but we're not there. And so that's one of the things that's happening with a lot of people that are, doing their gifts. They're utilizing their gifts. The stuff I do, the stuff you do, the stuff people do. It's really lending our energy, lending our frequency, lending our light to the evolutionary process that is happening within humanity to bring us over the tipping point.
Hmm. And we're bringing in balance. Yeah, it's beautiful what's coming through. And again, we get to be in communities like this. We get to receive the benefit of these translations and transmissions so that we can attune to the octaves of those light switches that are
Mhm.
ready to turn on inside of us, um, which is so beautiful. And I am going to get to Q&A here in a second. Y'all hang tight, please, because I feel how important and how beautiful your inquiries are going to be. But I'm really guided to go into the special offer now as we're still riding the wave of the light language transmission we just received. Because there's more of that that's coming through in the special offer and what Phyllis has put together for us. It's you keep having the opportunity to ride another wave of the ripple that has been created here. So y'all click on the special offer button underneath the video or on the replay page. I highly recommend that you do and invite you to. Um, the link's in the chat box, and always you can find the special offers on beyondtheordinaryshow.com/marketplace. And Phyllis, if you would guide everybody as to the opportunity that they have to go deeper into the seraphonic light language galactic gifts
Can I
that
steal
we have
that?
access to.
Seraphonic. I like that. Okay. Okay, so the first thing is, and I don't have this memorized, so I can it is called the Songs of Living Light, the Harmonic Restoration Transmission series.
Mm,
And so now in this series, it's a two-part offering that's designed to restore harmony within your being and the greater collective field of humanity. So as you begin to there's something to do with masculine, feminine, which they never told me, which they just dropped into my head. But there is a merging that happens and a unification or a union, a sacred union of the masculine, feminine from within. But also, as you restore harmony within your own physical beingness, as you elevate your consciousness and your light, there's that, well, that ripple effect. People notice, right? They
mm,
receive. So there's that ripple effect out into the world. So that's what these two transmissions are helping. The first one is the weaving of living light transmission. That is a reconfiguration, an upgrade of your spiritual energetic architecture, your light architecture within. Because I see things as architecture,
mm,
that creative aspect of you. And so it's allowing you to bring in more light. It's allowing you to come closer to your truth. It's allowing you to begin bringing in or engaging with those things that are in alignment with that. And as you do that, as you raise your own, I want to say harmonics, right? But really we're talking about your harmonic frequency and everything, then you begin to resonate outwards and express that energy
mm,
outwards, and other people receive it. So if you can think about many people that go through this, these two things, that more and more people will receive your light. The second one is called We Mend the Song of Light Transmission. And that is about mending the tears within self and the greater collective field as well. And I love how they said it's a restoring of the great song of creation, because you have to realize that you are not separate. Everything is as one, everything is interconnected. So every change that you make within yourself is received by
mm,
everything that exists outside of self. So that's what those two things are about. So you'll receive the two recorded transmissions, you'll receive a corresponding alchemy symbol, you'll receive a bit of instruction on how to utilize them. Uh, and then you'll also receive the two poems. So there's a poem that was given to me, then there is an invocation that happens, and then there is actually a sacred song plus the alchemical light language that happens in the transmission itself. The second package is what was given to me quite some time ago, and I brought it in, and it's been expanding, is
mm,
the Starfire Light technology. So I am offering Starfire Light technology gates 1 and 2 initiations to people that would like that. That's going to happen in a private live online training individually, where I will give you the gate 1 and gate 2 initiations. The first gate initiates you to the 7 frequencies of origin, and those are the aspects that's what creation is. Those are the aspects of everything that is, right? So it's earth, air, fire, water, aether, and then solar, lunar. So you'll be
mm,
initiated to those and empowered with that. And then the second initiation is Starfire Genesis. And that is the ignition point. It's a primordial stream of crystalline plasma light. And that comes from beyond time and the source, the heart of source, God, eternal, omnipresence. That is an aspect of you then that is awakened. And that
Mm,
allows you, it basically, it's a light technology that assists you in your ascension process, your healing. Because the more that you integrate light, the more that you stand in light, then the more you are becoming that, you are becoming aligned with your I am presence, and everything, illness and all of that, that is a distraction, really, or has come to
mm,
play due to whatever's happened in your life, that begins to fall away. When you're standing fully in your light, that is when healing happens, right? Because you are your own greatest healer, you are your own greatest teacher, and when you are standing in the light, there's that you are that knowing presence. And
mm.
that's when you can easily heal.
Yeah, the illumination of you becomes unavoidable,
Hmm.
unmistakable.
Yeah.
Um, which this is this is exciting, y'all. So for some clarification, Phyllis, it's
Hmm.
with the first package, y'all, the first package is $97. These two light transmissions. How long are each of these light transmissions as we prepare? And would you recommend that we listen to each one 3 times?
Oh, and so the Songs of Living Light, you listen to the first one, you listen to the second one, right? But
Okay.
you can listen as many times as you desire. That was one of the key things. There's no stopping point when you're feeling something coming up, when you're feeling a shift happening. By all means, listen to it because
Hmm.
it's really like a bridge, right? It's a catalyst for your shift and growth or your evolution. But it also assists you in bridging from one thing to the next, right? To
Hmm.
that next higher octave or higher level type of thing. So it's never ending. It's not something that you listen to it and you're done and you're done, right? No, I'm giving you something that you can utilize kind of prescriptively throughout your life whenever you really feel that it's needed. Yeah.
Beautiful. And we become more adept at bridge builders, if you will,
Exactly.
as we integrate
Yeah.
with it more and elevate, which is wonderful. And what's the significance of the corresponding alchemy symbol that goes with these two transmissions?
Oh, the alchemy symbol is it's the alchemy symbol itself is the songs of living life. So it's an interweaving of the two. And it's a I was going to say interdimensional symbol. So you would print that out and you could hang it on a wall in a room that you frequent, what have you. You can put it on your altar. I would say put it on your bedside table, but it is actually fully activated with that transmission and everything that you receive from the transmission. So if you hang
Mm,
it in your space, it's going to elevate the environment of the space that you place it in, right? So
mm,
it's bringing your environment, the atmosphere of where you live, your office, what have you. It's elevating the vibrational frequency along with you.
mhm. Wonderful. So y'all, that's package A. Of course, the poems are under as well. And how long are each of these transmissions, Phyllis?
I don't even remember. They're as long as they're supposed to be.
Perfect. I love that answer.
It's under 15 minutes, I think, for each of them. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I really appreciate that. So y'all, that first offer is $97. The Starfire Gates 1 and 2, your individual time with Phyllis going through these um, particular gates.
Oh, I will share what they wanted me to share one thing. When you receive Starfire Gate 2, you'll receive you'll receive information on how to create a temple of holy wholeness, which is something that you can create around you if you just want to meditate, if you want to do some healing work, whatever it is. If you work with clients, you can place yourself and the clients in there. So I'll teach you how to do
Mm,
that. The other thing is the Starfire light portal configuration. I'll teach you how to create a portal that you can reach into or receive from for
mm,
deeper healing for self or others. The higher aspect of that portal is that you can actually utilize it to travel,
mm.
right? To do
I
out of
love what
body travel. Yeah.
I love what you wrote on here that it's a multi-dimensional gateway for conscious travel,
Yeah.
communication, divine exploration, and access to transforming healing ability for yourself and others. And you may want to read the whole description because it really goes into detail, but you really start feeling and start having our, I'll call our vibrational understanding of what's being offered here, as well as you go through some of the description also. Um, how long is the one-on-one time with you, Phyllis, during these sessions?
It's up to an hour and a half.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all, amazing work, and opportunity. And package B is $333 with a two payment option as well. And you get access to all of this. I'm looking forward to my time with you, Phyllis. So that's going to be awesome.
Yes. You know, the thing they wanted to say about that is we have a mission because we've been creating there's a Starfarer grid. And
Mm,
I have to I don't have to, but I'm going to because that's what I'm told. But I have to have a certain number of people initiated to gates 1 and 2 because again, it's a tipping
okay.
point. It brings something in. So that's one of the key reasons that I'm offering it um at the package cost that we're
Beautiful. And
doing
our
that.
community is definitely built to hold vibrational attunement for those gateways. So this is exciting that you've offered it here, Phyllis. So thank you. Um, Y'all, again, take advantage of it. The link for the special offer is in the chat box underneath the video where you're watching the call from. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link for the special offer package will also be in the comments section. So you can access it there. Um, it is one-on-one. Fantastic. Paula's asking about that. Phyllis, I'd love to open up to some Q&A now.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's do it. So, Elaine, let's start with you. Welcome to the call. All right, Elaine, you're still muted. You have to find the unmute button on your iPhone. Ah, she hung up. She'll come back. Barbara, let's go to you. Welcome, Barbara. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
Yeah. Hi, John. Nice to meet you, Phyllis. I've never heard the operatic language of light before. That was very, very powerful. So I felt it. My question goes back to one of the first things you talked about I'm not sure if your words were exactly like this, but bringing your spirit into your body and being grounded that way. Did I hear that correctly?
Your I am presence. So there's that aspect of your I am presence, which is the part of you, the aspect of you that resides closest to God, whatever you want to call God. And so it's really about embodying that higher aspect of self within physical form. When you embody that aspect of self into physical form, you are in essence grounding it in within earth consciousness.
Okay, now how can you give me an example of when that happens? Um, what does it feel like?
Mm. I can only go from my perspective. It is a sense of expansiveness without being physically larger, obviously. It's a sense of expansiveness, it's a sense of illumination within just your own beingness. It's a sense of total surrender to all that is, whether
Mhm.
physical life, spiritual life, energetic life, right? It is that I have a sense it's that sense of knowing all that you don't know. Right? So that there's no fear there. But also it's like I am asked to do things and I'm like, I've never done that. I don't have a degree. I've never heard of it.
Mhm.
Whatever. But like my session today that I was telling John about, uh, it's that sense of knowing everything that you need to know in order to do everything that you need to do in the moment, everything that you're being asked to do, because you're connected to that.
Okay, and is it normal then? Like I felt that on and off almost every day for like 2 weeks. Does it come and go, or like how can I keep it?
It comes and goes until you are of the frequency that you can merge successfully and fully, right? So there's that kind of in and out, like I'm high, and then you're like, boo, so you feel yourself kind of getting pulled into the mundane world and the work and the heaviness of it. And then some days you're like up and you're light and springy and whatever else. So there comes a point where you are just fully on board and you have raised your vibration. And you are in resonance with that higher aspect of self, right?
All
And
right.
it happens, yes. So it's totally you do as you start, your process of seeking and spiritual awakening, all of that, you do find yourself like, I want to say, like, the little bobbers, like going up and down, right? That's what they're showing me. So you find yourself bobbing up and you're like there, and then all of a sudden, whoop, you're not, right? So it's all about your vibrational resonance. It's like raising your resonance.
Beautiful.
Great.
And I get that
Thank you.
we glimpse it several times in our lifetime. Imagine holding your firstborn for the first time,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
or having the feelings of feeling so connected to someone that you fall in love with and feeling that unity and almost becoming one. Those are breadcrumbs for what we're acclimating to in sovereignty rather than relying on another to bring that to us.
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely. We
Awesome.
do.
Awesome.
yeah, yeah. And I
Thank
hope
you.
you're experiencing that and keep going, keep going. So beautiful. Thank you,
Awesome.
Barbara. Um, Heather, let's go to you now. Welcome to the call.
Hello, John, and hello, Phyllis. Thank you for having me.
Mhm.
That was one of the most extraordinary experiences I've ever had in my life. And
Mm.
wow, I felt a shattering within myself, and then my whole room filled with like gold angels, and I cried, and it was amazing. So thank you. The question I have for you is, what message do I want to bring to planet Earth today or going forward?
Oh, they love answering that question because they don't answer that question. They always say, there's an understanding that we all get caught up in like, what am I supposed to be doing? What is my journey? What am I supposed to be saying? What is my mission? What is my message? All of that. And that is a distraction.
Okay.
So one of the things is that we are just to begin creating and just be who it is that we are, and to follow divine inspiration and those intuitive hits, and basically to follow our excitement, our desires, right? That kind of fuel that passion for us to continue forward. Because we don't want to get caught up, because when we're caught up, like, what's my mission? Then you're already trying to go from A to Z, right? Type of thing, without having a process or evolutionary process in between, because we're here to experience, right? So there's many things we have to experience in order to arrive at that understanding of who it is, who it is that we are, and how it is, why we are here, and how it is that we are to serve. You're already in alignment with what it is you're supposed to be doing, your mission here, right? So you begin to look in your life, like, what excites me? What do I enjoy doing? Because those things that you're already doing are already in alignment with why it is you're here, what it is you're supposed to be doing, and how it is you are supposed to be of service, right? So
Mm.
it isn't like you have a message. You've got work to do. You are, whatever, through your gifts, you are being of service, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be like a verbal message. That's how it doesn't have to be a message in that sense. It could be energetic. It could be something that you're doing that just disperses light upon the world. There's so many different things to speak to that. So it's really about creating those things that truly make your heart sing, that truly make you excited, because you are already in it to win it, so to speak, in that sense, when you follow that aspect of your path.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Blessings, Heather. And Phyllis, if you don't mind, I'm going to add to it because I feel this
Yeah.
it's really relevant. Heather, do you love?
Yes.
Wonderful. then who am I to tell you how you are to love? If you ask someone that question, what am I supposed to be doing? Who are they to tell you your expression of your love and how you are to gift that to the world? Only you know what that is and what that expression is, and how wonderful that we're not receiving the Starbucks version of love from billions of people around the world, and we have three sizes and that's it. So when you ask that, you're really asking, do I have permission to love in the way that I love, and will it be received?
Beautiful.
And I would say, absolutely, yes, please, please, please do.
I asked the other day, I was having a bad day, and I'm like, it's supposed to be done. You know, type of thing. That was a while ago. And all I heard was, Phyllis, create.
Oh, chills. I just got the chills when you said that.
And I stepped into that, and it's been amazing. It's been the most beautiful process of just those things come to you, and I'm just creating. Do what it is you do. You're creating. You are a creator in physical form. And just create.
Mm.
Right?
Enjoy, have fun, have passion, raise the frequency, so good, y'all. It's so good, the opportunity. Heather, thank you for your expression and for bringing this into the
Thank you.
conversation. Say, so good. Again, you're
Thank
doing what
you.
you're supposed to be doing, even by just asking that, just you being you. Amazing. Matilda, let's go to you now. Welcome.
Hi, John. Hi, Phyllis.
Hello.
I don't have words to say what I felt while you were doing the transmission. It was really beautiful and profoundly um, uh, beautiful. That's all I can say. And my question is a very simple question. A couple of weeks ago, I was working with Emily Harrison from the Beyond the Ordinary Show group of healers too. And we concluded that I had to make a radical shift to self-love. Okay. And I started with small things that are being amplified to love myself the way I love others, because I have always loved myself less. But the interesting thing is that ever since, I am so dizzy. I mean, I'm completely dizzy, and I don't know if this physical symptom has anything to do with that, or if I am integrating anything, or of anything.
Great
So,
question.
It's a little bit of both, right? There's a part of you that isn't quite ready to fully open, kind of butting against the part of you that's like, yes, right? I want to open. Just, you know, what I tell people when you have those symptomatic things that are occurring, because it's all about energy, right?
right.
Is breathe, just breathe through it, because often when we lock ourselves down, when we begin feeling that the dizziness or the pain or the what have you that's happening physically, and the thing is, that's when we need to become more in motion and attuned with that motion from within us. And so that is about breathing, just breathing deeply, maybe doing some uh, breath work or prana, you know, like yogic pranayama type thing, just breathing, because the breath is motion within the physical body. But the breath is also a vehicle for you to release things as well, and to open up
Okay.
more. The other thing is movement. A lot of people just lock down, they stop moving. And I'm being told you have to move. Maybe go out for a walk in
Mhm.
nature. Hop on a bicycle and bike, or you know, whatever it is that you can do to kind of get your blood flowing, right? It's about motion, because that begins to open us up, you know, even down to a cellular level. We start to open up, and the energies can begin to move and express properly. They don't get stuck. Right?
So I am opening up to a higher vibration. That's what I am opening up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Matilda,
definitely
blessing for what
opening
you're
up.
doing.
Yeah, and they also wanted to add about for you too is begin creating things, a new way of being for yourself in that self-love that you were creating for people outside of self.
Okay.
We can't just say, okay, now in this moment, I am going to love myself, right? It doesn't necessarily like happen
Yeah.
that way like quickly, right?
Right.
Because it's about building, you're building a relationship that you didn't fully have with yourself. It's like a friend outside, you're a friend too, right? So you want to begin building an inner relationship with self and an external relationship with self, right? You want to, and within that relationship is self-validation, because a lot of times you've been seeking validation outside of self, that you're a good person, you're doing good, you're doing what's expected of you and all of that. But now it's about turning that in and being able to seek your own self, to self-validate your worth, right? And to prove that worth to yourself.
But Phyllis, there's something that's coming in strongly, and I'd love to address it. And maybe you can guide a light language message around it as well after you bring in your conscious awareness. Also, for a lot of times, there's this a subconscious past life karmic thread, maybe even a psychic entanglement that as we show up to be there for another, that a part of us has to die on the cross. We have to give a part of ourselves so that someone else can heal, that we have to diminish before we can rise. Um, and it doesn't have to be, I'm just telling everybody on this call, and even though you may already know it consciously, I'm going to speak to those parts of you that are ready to receive it in ways that perhaps you haven't before. And that's why I'm asking Phyllis and the angelics for a transmission for it as well. But that's an old system that we were integrated into that isn't the truth of who we be. And that amplification, what Barbara's feeling and the energy when she's serving others and the ecstasy and the joy and the expansion, that is an indicator of how, as we're serving others, we're serving ourselves simultaneously, and that we're really serving the light. And I'd love whatever input you have around that, Phyllis, and also if there is something that may be coming through to help with the healing of some of those old belief systems.
We have to understand that one, all time is now, but that we are here to experience and we are not here to identify with our experiences. They just
Mm,
are, right? And so as we begin to draw in and become more and more light, right? We become more illumined. With that illumination, those things that are not in alignment with that, the entanglements, as it were, they began to unravel. So that is part because it's not vibrationally magnetized or not vibrationally in alignment. So those things began to unravel and they will unravel. So we might have emotions come up, we might have aches and pains in our body, headaches, whatever it is. And they're going to say the same thing really about that. You've got to breathe through it because there's really nothing that has to be done. Often we think, I should be doing something for that, right? I need to take a pill. I need, whatever it is, medically speaking. But we don't actually, because if we're focused in on the light that we are and that illumination, the unweaving and the unraveling will actually happen on its own. But I'm not going to say repercussions, but there's maybe symptomatic repercussions within our life that happen when we start to unravel. So we don't need to dive back into like, what does that mean? What is that? Where, that type of thing. We just have to allow the emotions to come up or whatever it is that we're feeling, and we can breathe in and we can exhale it out. It can actually be that easy. But all right, listen. Ukere spejrsta du tukur, tapa ishkindere. Ti tukur bayata tundra, iria manina nekere, sungore pekanda sakai botundra, atiere ki pindre ur, kishande mancondo sungungere ti tampa, achikiria. Eron kundra spiria tata katundu, ura jugur, Agente esito. Kukukuina macha. Ainere be kundore spichatandere yai duramin undo kundre si chande iruku ure. All right.
Mm.
That will help.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That seems to be landing in the field like a feather coming down for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a translation for that you want to share? Should we leave it at that and move on?
Let's leave it at that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Elaine, can you find your mute button now? Let's see if we can get to you again.
I had my headphones on.
You're
So,
on. Welcome to the call. It's wonderful to see you.
hi, thank you. I don't even know what to ask. I've done so much work for so many years, and I seem to have attracted my mastery. And I'm an artist, and I just finished a project that was 5 months in the most amazing
Mm.
place and being received by the highest level appreciation I could ever want. And I'm just feeling like sometimes I felt like I didn't deserve it and I might sabotage it, but I made it through and they want me more. So now I'm the head historical decorative painter and conservator. So, is there any, and I'm creating mysteries for history because these houses I'm working on were built in the 1700s and I'm recreating things that were.
Don't forget when you are in creation mode that you're not just creating for someone else.
When
But
I
the
was doing
key,
the doors, I was creating portals because I was painting the doors to look like mahogany.
mm-hmm.
So I was singing joy into them. So when people look at them, they'll feel it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but I didn't finish what I was going to say. So
Sorry.
that's okay. So I was going to say, remember that you are a creator, so that in everything that you're creating, you want to, more simplistically speaking than you stated, you want to put all that you are as a creator, full expression of your highest essence into what it is that you are creating, right? So when you are illumined and you are in that space of oneness, when you are connected with your creation that you're working on, you want to actually the one of the aspects of being embodied with that higher aspect is actually embodying the essence of your creation. So you're illuminating with light and love everything that you create. So you want to start becoming the work that you do.
Mm. Oh, that's powerful.
Okay. Well, then how do you maintain that when there's chaos all around in the construction site?
You don't need to worry about maintaining it. You just have to worry about being it.
Right.
Nobody else has anything to do with you. That's always a thing I always tell people. Even I can go into deep meditation in a crowded airport with people milling back and forth, right? So just be in your moment as the creator and ignore what other people are doing. And
Mm-hmm.
just
I
do
can
what it
do
is
that
that, yeah.
90% of the time. I can
So
do
the
that.
other 10%, then you can recognize, because you're saying, I recognize when I'm not in alignment. The other 10%, when as soon as you recognize it, bring yourself back into it, is
Mm-hmm.
all. Right.
Yeah, Elaine, I will recommend that you come back and listen to the replay. Of course, of course, the whole call. But I would say for you specifically, listen to what Phyllis just shared with you 3 times and just
With
receive,
the people before me, right?
receive. But this is in particular too, and it's serving us as well. Because the being it instead of having to hold, having to grip onto something, having to replicate is huge. But again, specifically for you, as my gift to you, I am strongly guiding you to come
Good.
back and listen to what Phyllis shared with you specifically 3 times and just be open to receive and then see if you can put it into action if it's resonant for you. I think that you'll discover something extra that is ready to reveal itself through you, as you, for you, and for others to receive through the portals that you're creating.
I would add to
Thank
that
you.
that I would add one thing is that we need to begin to recognize our own true power, right?
Mhm.
And our gifts. So it's not so much about doing what other people expect us to do and to create. It is about creating in the way that only we ourselves can create.
Mm.
That's what I,
Beautiful.
yes.
Elaine,
Nobody
blessings to
else
you.
can do what it is that you do in the way that you do it. So when we do it from that illumined perspective, when we drop into our creatorship and we drop into our power and what it is that we're doing and we're creating, you'll
Mm.
find that flow
Exactly.
within that. Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Blessings to you, Elaine. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for sharing your love in the way that you're sharing it.
Thank you. And I might, I'm going to ask them for a grant to build my school
Beautiful.
too. So I'm kind
Beautiful.
of
You may want to go deeper
apprehensive.
into a session with Phyllis.
Uh,
Activate those gateways. Go into the transmissions of well as they call to you. And you may find an amplification or speeding up and whatever's in alignment for you to show up. So thank you for coming
awesome.
in, Elaine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Phyllis, you were going to add something to that?
No, I think I already said it.
Okay,
Yeah,
beautiful.
my mind is blank.
Yeah, we are complete with that one. Thank you, Elaine. That was powerful for so many of us to receive in that space as well. Um, are the angels sharing anything with you about what's coming up for the rest of the year, other than what's becoming accessible through 1111? Um, but is there anything else that's pinging that you may want to share with us as we're ending today's call? And by the way, those of y'all who raised your hand, type your questions into the chat box. Next time, next time. But thank you for your presence, and I'm sorry that we're running out of time. And don't forget about the special offer. Go deeper into it. The links in the chat box, the one-on-one session that I'm excited about mine, the transmissions that are available also. Just powerful, powerful activations that are taking place. So I hope you all take advantage of that special offer here presented to you on Beyond the Ordinary show. Um, and with that interruption, Phyllis, yeah, what else maybe have they been presenting for you?
You know, really, I would say it's just really everything. It's that everything is undergoing an evolutionary process. So stop trying to hold on to things of the past and
Mm,
begin to magnetize or reach towards the things that are coming in, because your future is who it is that you are right now, because the future is unlimited potentiality that you yourself in this present moment are magnetizing to you as you progress forward. So don't spend your time trying to be something you want to become, looking into the future like, well, in 10 years I'll get there. No, you want to act like you're there. You want to be there. You're already here, right? You are there
mhm,
in this present moment, being who it is that you are meant to be. And so when you start thinking about and sitting in the vibration of that which you desire, you're magnetizing the future to
mhm,
you. And so that is the flow. That is the unfolding process of your personal creation.
mm,
So that's what I always say. Stop thinking about what you just create. Just and without a hold, know that you are an unlimited. You are unlimited. So don't let perceived limitations, well, limit what it is that you think you can bring into your life, that you think you can create. Act like you can create in an unlimited way, because you
mm,
can. And our mind doesn't know the difference, right? They think everything, the brain thinks everything you tell it is true. The mind listens, right? So just don't have, just move without fear and
Mm.
allow yourself to create. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Phyllis. On top of that, my own sentiment on top of that, and knowing that you're limitless, is to also know just how loved you really are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really feel that deeply in how you were surrounded and immersed in love. And with that, everything is possible. Everything in your limitless acknowledgement, taking
Exactly.
back your throne and creating from there. Such a beautiful call, Phyllis. Thank you so much.
Oh,
It's
thank
just,
you.
wow. How do you integrate after these calls? Do you go like throw yourself in the lake? Do you bathe yourself in rose oil or what is it?
You know what? I actually go and eat.
Hmm. Grounding in, yeah, or whatever that is for you.
Yeah, I really ground if I eat, and it's funny because whenever I do something energetic, I eat meat. I am a meat eater. I try to be vegetarian and stuff, but as I began to hold more light and do so, I found that I was withering away physically.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
literally had to begin to eat meat, and it's almost like I can go higher, that more dense, the more connected with density that I am, the more rooted that I am.
You're
And
bridging.
you'll
Yeah.
find that. Yeah. You'll find the more rooted you can be, the more connected you have the ability to be.
Wow, wow. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's, yeah, that was hugely important. You're amazing. Thank you for
Oh,
doing
thank
what you do,
you.
the way that you do it. And oh my God, what a gift. And I'm still vibrating from the transmission earlier. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you all enjoy the wave that Phyllis took us on today and that you allow yourself to continue to receive whatever's still churning through the ebbs and the flow that was presented. And thank you all for being here. Thank you for acknowledging who
Thank
you
you.
be, remembering who you be. And again, remember, you're surrounded by love always. Blessings, everybody. Until the next call.